All right, then. Oh, we going analog straight up. I don't know if you
There
need.
I was,
Okay.
after all those years, at the threshold of a nightmarish place. I never thought I'd have the courage to return. While I had been toying with the idea for a while, that day I had woken up with a peculiar urge to return to Hanwell Mental Institute.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you didn't give me any subtitles, Mrs.
Of course, there was a strong reason to come here, but the circumstances that led me back to the Institute were oddly dreamlike, as if I wasn't in control of my own actions. Why was I doing this? I needed to know what this place had done to me, the meaning behind those bizarre visions. I'd rather face the direful truth than live in blissful oblivion.
You say so, buddy. All right, so welcome to Asylum. Now, I didn't want to talk over. I got a lot to say. I didn't want to talk over the intro, and the game just launched straight into the game without like a main menu, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine when games do that. I actually think it's kind of cool when games do that. Um, Uh, so here's the deal with this game and why I'm like giddy with excitement to play this. This game is a game that has been in development for a long time by an indie studio named Senscape. And they made a game a long time ago called Scratches, which I consider one of the best horror games I've ever played. I have like there was a period where I like was like a hound hunting for like first person point and click horror games. I've always loved them. I haven't played a lot like interestingly, I haven't played a lot of the third person point and click. Like I don't think I played like the original Clock Tower or the original Alone in the Dark. It's the first person ones that always like drew me in. Um However, here's the thing. There's one other reason why this game is kind of special to me. And that's because my dear, sweet, departed wife, when I visited her, because we met online, started a long distance relationship. And the first time I visited her, we decided to play some games together. Scratches was the first game we played together. And so and then we played a couple other point and click horror games like Barrow Hill and Darkfall and stuff. Um, but so that added little wrinkle is I don't wait a minute. Light sensitive chiropractic care, speed of reflexes. I auditory. This might be the coolest way that an options menu has ever been uh, portrayed in a game. Like seriously, that is awesome. Slow conversations, visual disorientation, vertical disorientation. I'm guessing that's VSync. Disable camera motion. Okay. Is that? Oh, that's just the camera wobble. That's not. Um. Yeah, I thought that would be um motion blur. So now, if you're not used to these kinds of games, I'll tell you now that did it save my settings? Yeah. There are. Oh, I point at the edge of the okay. That's cute. That's cute. Now, if you haven't ever played these old types of games, um uh you don't actually move with WSAD like you would. Um Gloomy forests bordered the grounds of the Institute, creating a profound sense of isolation. There was a sort of unnatural calm surrounding the area. It wasn't helping to boost my confidence at all. The highlight clickables thing, I'm not going to use that constantly. I like to scan around and find things to click. Yeah, this is how these games go. Some might say that like in modern times, you'd think they'd make it more um like modern in terms of like uh being able to freely move. And there have been some games in this genre that like I think like it might have been Darkfall. There was a game that there was a series of them, and then like one of the later ones let you move freely. But aside from just the nostalgia of it, um aside from just the nostalgia of it, uh I really wish not being capable of multitasking is a bad thing for a let's player. Uh um Even though I was still outside, I could already feel the oppressive nature of the building. Um there are actually benefits to, believe it or not, to this style in terms of gameplay. For one, you don't have to like move around and like find the right angle to see, like check every nook and cranny or something. Like what's in your face here is what's in the game. It was notable how well the crumbling walls had endured the test of time. Although I know that at some point during the development they changed engines. Either change it was something like they changed engines or they decided to rebuild stuff because like the original trailer, the original footage didn't look nearly this good. So definitely seems like they've been. What a strange rock formation, beautiful yet somehow disquieting. Uh, I mean, I don't want to go over there. You're probably gonna make me eventually, but could have gone for a quick stroll. But I was afraid of losing my way in the fading light. Is there anything in my car that I can? Okay, that was. I thought I would just step over there and. Okay, I've got everything I need then. I didn't have my notepad. My memory was failing me, so keeping notes would be a dire necessity. Really needed to bring my notepad with me. Grab my notepad. I was struck by a sense of confidence I hadn't expected. I felt ready to tackle the mysteries inside that looming structure. I love when games have little touches, little little things that you can. I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I wanted to look over to the right and see if Miss Lady was there. Some people would say that like having like some kind of horror like thing. Oh, okay. I was. I can't just freely draw. That sucks. Um, like some people say having that like right from the beginning would be bad in terms of like making a horror story. But I think that like if you establish early on what like state of mind the character is in and what they're dealing with, then I don't know how to put it. I think that knowing that he's having visions that of stuff and that there's this vision of this woman, um and at one point she whispered something like, why are you doing this? I didn't have subtitles, um which I think was probably uh done on purpose to like make it like hard to pick out what she was saying. Okay, all right, fucking Five Nights at. Oh boy. Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the Hanwell Mental Institute. What can I do for you?
I wasn't expecting to find anyone here.
Oh? And why is that?
Well, this is gonna sound a bit strange, but I thought this building was abandoned.
As you can see, that's no longer the case. My name is Julia, and I'm the receptionist for the Institute. Why are you here?
This is an awkward situation. I was hoping to take a look around the Institute.
But you thought it was abandoned.
Indeed, and that's why I thought nobody would mind.
We certainly do mind. This is private property, you know. Hanwell Mental Institute was never abandoned, just closed to the public until recently. And still, deserted or not, it's not like just anyone can walk inside. You do realize that.
Ain't you ever heard of urban exploring?
By surprise. I'm not sure what to say.
Well, you can start by explaining yourself. Why did you come here?
The last thing I expected was to find people here tonight. I assumed the Institute had shut down indefinitely.
Not indefinitely. It's true that it ceased to operate for a number of years, but we're in the process of reopening it now. While not in the most pristine of conditions, which should be evident if you look around, the structure is still robust and
No.
but there's a lot of work to do.
I must say its general state is indeed rough. But I can see how with some cleanup, intensive cleanup, you could get this place up and running again.
Also, other mental hospitals in the region are growing overcrowded, which has prompted state authorities to reuse this place.
Why are other hospitals so overcrowded?
I can't say. Maybe it's the times we're living in. Don't you feel somewhat overwhelmed by everything that's going on in the world? I often do.
Ah.
People are less prepared to cope with all that and, need help.
I see your point.
Still, that doesn't mean I can allow a complete stranger in.
So, let me get this straight. The whole institute is being reopened?
That's what I said. Patients from smaller hospitals who are not getting proper attention are being relocated here, and extensive renovations are scheduled to begin tomorrow.
It all seems rather empty, though.
Tonight, it's just me, security, Dr. Miller, and a few patients in the building.
But where are all the workers? I don't see any ongoing construction or renovations.
It's almost nighttime. Everyone else is arriving in the morning.
This isn't my first time here, you know.
Oh, you used to work here?
Well,
No.
I'm very much acquainted with this institute.
You should have said so in the first place. I still don't understand why you came all the way up here in the evening.
There's something from those old days that I need to find, and quite urgently. It's a health issue.
You sound serious.
Very much so.
Sweetheart.
And you're looking for...
Documents mostly, maybe some notes. There's a matter of great importance that I need to understand.
Well, it's a highly unusual situation, but it's not like you can cause much trouble. And if you do, I'll have the security guard have a not-so-friendly talk with you.
Understood.
Yeah.
Let's talk rules then. First, you're fully responsible for your own safety.
I accept all the risks.
You must also leave before dawn. The construction workers are arriving early and will turn the place upside down. And please, steer clear of the upper floors. There's dangerous equipment up there. Do we have an agreement?
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Julia. This means a lot.
Very well. Go ahead. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Me too. Something tells me this is my last chance.
Madam?
The institute as I knew it ceases to be.
It's going to be a whole different place in the morning, that's for sure.
I gotta. Here's the thing. You asked if I used to work here. And I vaguely said, I'm acquainted with the Institute. How do you not get that I'm saying that I was a patient? Like, how does that not process in your fucking ginger little head? I don't know. With the lighting, I can't tell what her hair color is. It's either red or lightish brown. Anyway, but I'm just gonna say she's ginger because it makes it funnier. Because all gingers are fucking idiots. I am in a constant battle between running this channel as if someday I might stumble upon some success and some people might start regularly watching me, but also running the channel under the knowledge that there's really only one person that's ever going to watch any of these videos. So I make jokes that he'll get and he'll laugh, but other people will be like, what the kind of fucking person would say something like that? My best friend is Ginger.
You said there's more people here. Patients too?
Yes, although we're operating with reduced staff. The establishment is far from ready, as should be apparent, meaning mostly low-risk patients have been readmitted.
In this state?
You
I don't understand.
It could use some maintenance, yes.
okay?
And trust me, I'm freezing to death without those radiators working.
I was going to see if I could pause conversations. I'm not going to look it up because I think everyone that plays video games knows the horrors of looking something up, and I'm gonna give you a little tiltaroony. Everyone I think has had at least one experience where they look something minuscule, some little thing up, and they end up seeing like a major spoiler. I shit you not. One time I looked up tips on beating a boss in some old JRPG. I can't remember which one. I think it was one of the Final Fantasies or something. And the way they had it laid out is they had like character profiles and stuff. And when I was looking for for the boss battle, it took me to a character profile for the boss, and it said status dead. And I'm like, oh, they die. Okay. And then I think another time there was something that said like relationships, and then it said someone was like their brother. Like, great. I would have enjoyed that plot twist, but sure, why not? But the reason I bring that up was I was gonna look up. I'm pretty sure because I could have sworn I remember them talking about it back when like Asylum was first announced. Um, but I'm pretty sure that the voice actor, is the same one from Scratches. I want to think he is.
I was under the impression nobody cared about this place anymore, which is why I thought it wouldn't hurt to have a quick look around.
You could have gotten hurt, though. It's not safe to walk everywhere. For instance, no one is allowed on the third floor yet, which is falling apart.
Still, this is all so strange.
I'm probably gonna go up
Why do
there.
you say that? There's nothing strange about an eminent mental hospital reopening for the benefit of society.
But oh yeah, and I'm gonna keep these to like an hour long.
Experiences at the Hanwell Mental Institute.
I'm sorry to hear
Why I
that.
set the
As I told you, I'm not familiar with those days. My understanding is that things were rough. But I can assure that all current staff members are new and everyone is eager to get this place up and running again.
Julia, your enthusiasm is commendable, considering the state of this place.
I like to think positive.
I'm gonna say right off the bat, I really hope it doesn't turn out that the asylum is completely empty and everyone I meet is a figment of my imagination, because that's just so fucking overdone. Like if it turned out that like some things were, you know, like not real, like I just don't want it to be like it turns out like, oh, it was empty all along. But yeah, I set a timer because I'm gonna make these about an hour long, because even though I'm fine with uploading 3-hour movies 3-hour videos, it seems like as it gets further into like the file size, I it I start to get issues more frequently. So.
You mentioned the patients are being relocated.
Correct. There's hardly anyone here tonight, but a crew of construction workers will be arriving first thing in the morning.
Also, this is my first time recording to my
operating at full capacity
other
in
hard
10
drive.
minutes.
That's ambitious, given the state of the building.
They said it looks worse than it really is, you know.
I'm sure it does. Uh, this is also my first time recording to the external hard drive. I don't think I've said this in a video. I I don't think I've recorded any Let's Plays in the time since then, other than stuff with my friend. Uh, but um, I was annoyed for months on end about being low on space, wishing I was wishing I had an extra, like another hard drive, because I have like the hard drive in the computer and then a 2 terabyte external hard drive. Um, and but I couldn't really afford to get another hard drive at the moment. And then just like 2 weeks ago, it struck me that I've got a PS4 sitting up there that, like, roughly 4 or 5 months before I got my PS5, uh I the hard drive on the PS4 crapped out on me, so I had to buy a new one. And so there's been a nice Western Digital 1 terabyte SSD just sitting in that fucking thing for months while I've been sitting here bitching about not having space. So now I'm recording to that.
So there should be more staff arriving soon.
Yes, in addition to construction workers, both more staff and more patients are scheduled to arrive in the morning.
Don't you find it strange that they're reopening the Institute after all this time?
I don't see what's odd about that. Experts deemed the building usable. Similar mental hospitals didn't have such luck, though, and have been demolished.
Yeah, I mean,
So there should be more staff arriving soon.
Yes, in addition to construction.
Part of the reason why I came back is to make sense out of my involvement in the Institute.
It sounds as if you didn't enjoy working here.
Well, you could say it was a traumatic period in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm even having nightmares about it.
Seriously?
It's been bothering me for weeks. This pressing feeling that I need to do or understand some decisive detail, almost as if I forgot something of extreme importance here.
I hope you find what you're looking for then.
I just realized I was like just kind of like enjoying like kind of the rush of like, oh my god, it's finally here. I finally get to play it. During that opening cutscene, I can't remember if he ever actually mentioned being a patient. So maybe it's not actually entirely clear within the story right now if I was a patient, which I was. Like, there's no way in hell that it's not going to turn out that I was a patient here. There's like, I like there's no way. There's no way that I wasn't a patient here. Um,
I've been thinking about this institute for a long time now, but only today realized that I needed to come here one more time. Like a strange sense of urgency.
You're beginning to sound awfully cryptic. If you didn't like it here, then why are you doing this?
That's a great question. Why am I doing this?
Okay, I need to get back to work now. Try to make it a quick visit for your peace of mind.
All right. Thank. So, we're on good terms now?
Yes, if you need information about something, you can come to me. I can get a bit intimidating at this time of the day, but between you and me, I don't mind a bit of company. This place can get on your
okay.
nerves.
Got it. I promise I'll try to relieve your boredom. How are you holding up?
Fine, all things considered. I really hope they fix the radiators tomorrow.
I hear you. The atmosphere is chilling. This topic is giving me a headache.
Yeah, me too.
The topic of you. Okay, so I get what's going on here. I can click through things and basically anything I have here, I can bring up to
My
her.
memories of this place are hazier than I thought.
It's likely its current state of disarray. I also find it disconcerting at times. The darkness and stillness of the night doesn't help either.
That's very true. Part of the reason I'm here is to make sense out of my stay at the Institute.
Your stay?
You know, when I...
It's okay. I understand.
You do?
I know what you meant.
So it's confirmed that I was a patient, and
I'm still trying to remember.
There's still time, but hurry up.
That's about Dr. Miller. So that kind of confirms it, and then that was kind of nice that she like didn't make me come out and
So
say it.
who's Dr. Miller?
He has been appointed as the new head director of the Institute, and he's overseeing the whole reopening process.
I thought Hanwell was the director. Isn't that the name of the Institute?
That was a long time ago, and I'm not sure about that history either. I do recall that Dr. Miller and Dr. Hanwell were acquainted with each other. And I don't think Dr. Miller is planning to change the name of the Institute either, out of respect for Dr. Hanwell.
Alright, well.
That's all for now. I'll be back.
So I think that when things are crossed out, yeah. Now what one detail that I wish wasn't like this is that stuff that I had crossed out during the conversation is now just gone. I mean, it'd be nice if like all the stuff stayed crossed out, but at the same time, depending on how many different things end up being in it, it'd be annoying to like flip through so many pages. So that's fine. Let's I see a butt. Is there something I'm meant to be doing here? Okay, sure, why not? Okay, I think it just gives you the cursor regardless. Radars weren't working and it showed. The cold here was glacial. Poor Jew. No point rummaging through the crack. Says you? That's where I do my best sleuthing. Old but elegant grandfather clock, which unfortunately was no longer working. Well, darn it. No lights for you. Wait, no, I didn't. Began to remember the layout of the building. This was the administrative area, the offices for a few key staff. Anthony Angel. I want to go back in there. I wasn't actually expecting that door to open. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Like you got the old school uh point and click adventure thing of like just picking up random objects, which I imagine if someone like younger goes and plays one of these games, like they'd be like, why like why is this not why did it let me pick it up if it's not for anything? It well was back then they were just so proud of their 3D rendering and stuff. So they would like sometimes let you pick up and get a really close look. And it worked. I mean, I remember back in the day picking stuff up and being like, oh, so detailed. So detailed compared to the polygons I'm used to. Things considered, rearranging the tables and cleaning up a bit wouldn't take much time. All right. Press tab to read the text more clearly. Thank you. For decades, the Hanwell Mental Institute housed some coordinators are collecting your record book. Okay. Housed patients of many ages with varying degrees of mental illness. Feeble minded men and women not fit for living independently in society were admitted and received excellent nursing care with hygienic environment with a hygienic environment, magnificent facilities, and a well qualified personnel. The Institute strived to attend to all their needs. The 4-story building was constructed atop a cliff amidst the leafy and calm forest with the goal of housing over 300 patients. This particular location ensured maximum security. Access was severely restricted, and any patients attempting to leave would have to descend a rocky, winding path down to the base of the mountain, thwarting any attempt to escape the facilities. Every day, patients could spend their time in the vast courtyard, library, or game room and take part in other leisure activities. The most capable ones were periodically selected to help with daily duties such as laundry, cooking, administrative tasks, and such. Groups were assembled and assigned therapists according to their cognitive capabilities of their members, engaging each individual in diverse approach to therapy. These included standard rehabilitation, hydrotherapy, group therapy, and for the more difficult cases, other more stringent methods. We're probably talking about shock therapy and the old ice pick up the noggin, which is a fucked up way of putting it, but is accurate. All right. Relaxing classical music. That's like good attention to detail that like the actual like uh uh record imprint is kind of like in that because that does happen to older that that didn't deserve my this piece of paper and this record are good enough. These 3 books, fuck them. Please be more mindful of the vinyl records. The covers are scattered all over this section and they're getting damaged. We can't let patients play with them, although I've seen members of the staff being careless with them as well. It's a shame and a disgrace to keep all the hard work we nurses do here, keep this place running smoothly. Oh. You mean record book updated? Interviews. Oh, I can just fucking straight up go through everything. Well, that's handy, I suppose. Achievements. Oh, okay. There's going to be a lot of shit to find, it seems. All right. I have an inventory. I do not have an inventory. Chapter 1, Theoretical Framework of Relational Spirituality. Relational spirituality after the medical gaze. Varieties of relational spirituality. Balancing spiritual dwelling and seeking. Anxiety, relational trauma, and suffering. Chapter 2, 3 relational development system. Attachment and relational spirituality. Differentiation and relational spirituality. Intersubjectivity and relational spirituality. Chapter 3, the clinical applications of the relational spirituality model. Relational spirituality and psychotherapy. Relational spirituality and couple therapy. Relational spirituality and group therapy. Relational spirituality and therapist formation. You know, enhancing life protection. I'm not gonna read every single little thing like this when it's just like obedience and power. That's what I'm all about. Obedience and power. Obey. Obey me. Stigma, stereotyping, and the mentally ill. Behavioral psychology. Station perception. All right. Oh, we can read this one too. Psychology and research methods. I'm assuming these are like real textbooks, like maybe not like specifically like one-to-one real textbooks, but they probably like got a lot of psychosexual development. What does it say about me that popped out? I said popped out. Get it? It popped out. Okay. Oh, you can look at all these fucking things. Historical and conceptual foundations. They need to fix the some of the fonting, but this game did just come out, so I can forgive some glitches here and there. Sexuality and aging. All right, now at this point, it's the game that's obsessed with it, not me. Yes, those are the only two things I've read out loud for most of this, but I'm still gonna blame the game. Been used and overused to countless years. Below it come. Below it come. Why did you come? All up now, game. Don't you be starting that shit. I can handle a random ghost chick in my car. That's fine. Don't you start putting shit like that in there. WC. Carolyn May Bavqua. Bavqua. Oh my god, it's the Miskatonic University. Hell yeah. I'm actually planning on I have like a list, like a big list of shirts I want to get. And one that I want to get is a Miskatonic University shirt that like is designed to look like the kind of like sweater you get at like a college. Out of service. I wasn't planning. I wasn't planning on using it anyway. Men's room. Wait. What was that about being? You said something about uh uh there being no ladies room, which is weird. Uh, you know, well, it didn't feel very You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. They failed to grind, cover the window, and it was a shame. Could have used a glimpse of the outside world. Right down the hallway. Whatever. Brian Connor. Well, this is. All right. Wiring diagrams seem to indicate the location of speakers across this section of the first floor. Okay. Right click to show items you're carrying. Is that necessary? Gary, Chuck, Greg, and Dominic, Rock M. Gary. I'm going to operate under the assumption that these are some of them their Kickstarter backer people. Lovely way to put it. Knife! I figured a knife would come in handy. Yeah, can't I use the letter opener to jimmy it? I want to use my letter opener, and I wanna jimmy it. Fine, fuck you. Safe move serves out stunts once. Other remainder was meaningless, so meaningless. Eh. Great stuff to have up at a mental institution. The opposite belonged to Dr. Ann Ebersprecher, stern, cold psychologist whom I remember from my stay at the institute. Okay, don't let me finish reading that. And somewhat tacky. I thought he was throwing it on the ground. Ebersprecher's library was respectable and well preserved. Um, you got like that's some dedication to have stuff for every combo I could use. I wonder what happened to these people. About workers at the institute. When I first arrived at the institute, I wasn't sure what to expect, though it's well located and its facilities are modern and effective. The horse and buggy mentality of the staff and approach to medicine are appalling. It's been a few weeks already since I got here, and I know for certain that I won't get along well with Dr. Ellis. I can appreciate Dr. Hanwell's perspective and his need to take a firm hand approach in everyday activities at the Institute. I know too well what it means to deal with these sick, mindless individuals. But Ellis is an altogether different matter. His attitude is borderline brutish and dates back to a bygone era of barbaric practices. Can't understand how this character has attained so much rank and power at the Institute. Wish I could understand what Hanwell saw in him. In spite of the generational adverse environment, generational, stop inserting words that don't exist, Mr. Man. I'm anxious to start testing my theories with a number of patients. Fortunately, the staff seems to respect my background and extensive studies. They almost seem intimidated by them. Even Ellis treats me differently, with a kind of silent doubt, as if he didn't know what to expect, and I've seen how he treats women in the Institute. Guess I must be some sort of puzzle to him. I look forward to keeping my notes and observations in this journal. I'll be working with a particular diverse group. I can scroll. I forgot about that. With some of its members exhibiting extreme and promising pathologies. Rebecca is by far the most intriguing subject. This woman has been a schizophrenic from a young age, exhibiting a rambling and erratic personality. No family, no social life to speak of. She used to live in the suburbs, where she'd roam aimlessly in the streets. Your typical town loony. Can I just say, last year she was viciously great by two thugs. Great. Um, can I just say your statements earlier about the guy being brutish and stuff, barbaric, and now you're calling the town loony, like pot, meat kettle, and left heavily beaten and bruised in a damp valley. It's a miracle she survived. It's a miracle anyone cared enough to save her. Sadly, she became pregnant after the attack, which sent her psyche into an even darker downward spiral. Her mind is in a nadir now. She thinks she's carrying the spawn of the devil and has repeatedly attempted to perform an abortion. A fringe case by any measure, the sort of patient that would have received unabashed shock treatment in other institutions, and the perfect subject to test newer, less invasive approaches to mind healing. Our first group therapy session will begin tomorrow with about half a dozen patients, or so I've been told. I'm going to focus on one particular group for now, and I believe Hanwell himself will be present for the first sessions. Nothing of the sort has been attempted in this place. I'm excited to take the first steps into a brighter, new age for psychology. Notice how much reading there is in this. When I made my Amnesia custom story, one of the most common complaints was how much reading there was. People really did not fucking like the reading. Well, here's the thing, buddy. I grew up playing shit like this. Oh. And in these kind of games, you got to do a lot, sir. Oh, had to get a little stretchy, dude. Okay, I'll try to remember. There's a fucking tape player there, so if I find a tape, I guess I can. Although, wouldn't I have to get the power on first? Sophisticated choice for this room. What could it have meant to the owner? I don't fucking know, man. They like boobs. Walter Ku Ku Cowwaver. Wait a minute, those are just. That's just. Wait a minute. Oh, that must be that room there. No, that's the janitor's closet. It was too dark. Okay. Uh. You can see the water out there. That's nice. Let me do a little. I thought that was pieces of paper falling. Doing a little boot scooting boogie here. All right, I don't know what's going on with these. No, see that says Dr. Hawthorne, and then that's saying, okay, okay, I've been operating under the assumption that these uh yeah, this is Nelson Miguel, but that's Dr. Evershower's office. So what I'm thinking, I was operating on the assumption that their diplomas were hung outside their rooms. I think these are just diplomas of like staff members who maybe like instead of displaying it in their office, they want to display it in the hallway, which is fine. You can do that. No, can't get in there. Series of uninteresting magazines on the table. Dated too. What the fuck? Electrotherapy. Yep, that person looks like they're having a good time. That's the face of someone having a very good time. Thorazine. Opening of the West Infirmary. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought that this was a table with like a big tablecloth over it, and this guy was just like phasing through it, but it's beds and he's sitting on the end of one. Fuck it. Reasons for admission. Rumor of husband murder. Salvation Army. Scarlatina. Seduction and disappointment. I've sent many a women into the madhouse for that reason. Seduction and disappointment. Oh my god. Alright, I hear you beeping. Alright. Let me finish off looking at all these. Fever, jealousy, exposure and army, exposure and quackery, exposure and hereditary. Egotism, epileptic fits. Do. sexual abuse and stimulants, sexual derangement. And I'm guilty of that. Female. She got the female disease. Oh no, she's got the female. I know that it's horrible to laugh because this is actually accurate to how like some of the fucked up like diagnoses and reasons people would use to hospitalize someone, and it was especially bad for women. You gotta understand with me, I've talked about this before, you gotta understand with me, when it comes to stuff like that, laughter is my defense mechanism. And some people might say that it's not a good defense mechanism, maybe not, but I think as long as you realize that that you're using it as a defense, as long as you're self-aware about it, it's okay. Just let yourself laugh at the absurdity of something to just kind of keep yourself from wanting to do the bad thing. That's pretty much my life these days, is laughing at absurdities to keep myself from one imaginary female trouble. See, now I got that because I've been single for a fucking minute, and I think I fantasized too much, and I think I created a tulpa. Oh, I got issues. Novel reading. Okay, I'm gonna. I can't help but think some of these are fake. Like some of these are in his jokes. Political excitement and politics. Tobacco and masturbation. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the life. Oh god. Oh. Oh. Menstrual deranged. Masturbation for 30 years. I'm going on, well, actually, I was gonna say I'm going on 40, but I don't think I was masturbating when I was a toddler. I probably played with it. I was probably one of those. I get the feeling, I don't have any confirmation on this, but I get the feeling I was probably one of those kids that in like a public setting when I was like 4 or whatever, like in a public situation, I would just take it out and start playing with it. I am certain I was one of those kids. Laziness, ill treatment by husband. So wait a minute. Again, realistic and actually how fucking horrible things were back then. But you have to, please try to understand what I'm doing. Okay? I'm not laughing at real life situations, and I'm not laughing at people suffering. What I'm doing is I'm isolating and examining, like I'm taking the absurdity of something and laughing purely at the absurdity of it as a way of coping with how horrible it makes me feel to actually think about it. All right? Ill treatment by husband. Reason for admission. You admit her because, yeah, I've been treating her bad, so she needs to be locked up. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Oh, wait a minute. I have officially found my Okay, first off, there's David's uh reason for admission. Bad whiskey. He got some bad whiskey and he lost his mind. Down there, deranged masturbation. That is my official type. Oh God. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay, let's back up here. Are you deformed or crippled? Okay, that was it for stuff that I could click on. Well, that was an experience. All right, that'll do it for this episode. I'll gonna quickly check the footage, make sure it recorded correctly and everything, and then I'll be back. Bye bye.